Hey guys, I'm just going to start making my background now. So I'm not going to be too precious about it. Want it to be a little bit abstract. And then once I've made my background colour, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to use my beautiful stencil that I've got for this collection. So nice. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just going to drop a tiny bit of colour in. Such a lovely technique, this. Just let your mind wander. Just go with the flow and just let the colour go wherever you want. I think my problem sometimes is I don't know when to stop. Bit of colour in here, so I'll put a bit of colour in there, and then I'm going to add water to it, then I'm going to try and drip it down. So I think that's me done. I'm going to dry this off, and then I'm going to stencil on top of it. So I'm happy with the background that I've done. As you can see, I've used the stencil. I've overlapped it slightly here, but it's absolutely fine because it's going to be quite abstract, the background anyway. Because what I'm going to do is, in a minute, I'm going to add this stamp to some of the background. So this is it finished for now. I want you to have a look at the detail. Look how fine they are. Sorry. Right. So I'm just going to mount this on my background, and I will be back. So I'm going to cut a section of this lady out, and it's going to be the face part here. So I'm going to show you where the face is, because part of it's missing, just in case you want to do the same. So basically you're going from the hairline here, slight curve to the brow, and then when you look at the eye here, there's a little line there, which is the part of the eyelid. You're going to go from that line, and you're just going to curve to the edge of the nose. So I've cut this out just on this side, and I've left that side raw. I've ripped it. I've just added a tiny bit of stencil ink around it to age it a bit. So then now what I'm going to do is place her in position. I'm going to put something heavy on this for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to start painting this lovely lady. So I'm going to start painting the face of this little lady now. Believe it or not, these watercolours I've probably had since I was 19. So a very, very long time. I mean, obviously keep buying new colours for it, but yeah, the actual palette I've had since I was 19. Right, so to start with the face, because it's such a subtle colour, just wash it slightly, either with a tiny bit of colour or just water, so it's a little bit wet. Always have some tissue as well to wipe your colour off. And then basically with watercolour, the water is your white and you're going from your lightest tone to your darkest tone and you're just building the colour up. So as you can see, I've just put a tiny bit of colour in here. I've just wiped my brush so it's a bit drier. Then I'm sucking that colour out. You just keep going in until you get the depth that you want. Again, wiping it off, sucking the colour out. Just adding just water here, just to blend this out a little bit. The thing with watercolour as well, try not to be scared of what you're doing. Just move quick. And try to enjoy it. And if you make a mistake, you won't make the mistake the second time. Sometimes you can discover a lot of things through mistakes. So just a little bit of pink. See, I'm just moving that colour along. Just moving it along. So I'm going back into the original colour. Just moving it along. You don't need a lot with skin tones. If that's what you're wanting to achieve, just skin tone, you don't need a lot. Just basically gentle shading. So I'd say that's enough for now. So I'm going to do it here, a turquoise. So again, I'm going into my water. Just add in a watery wash. Make sure that this wash is really light, because if you do it darker, you won't be able to go back from that. At the moment, I'm just slightly dipping it into my water. Just enjoying where this takes me. Not being too precious. Then I'm going to start doing the details. So dip it into the water, your brush, wipe it off, tiny bit of water, because you want the colour more solid this time. You see? Into the water, wipe your brush, Then your brush is near enough dry, blend this down. It's to do with timing as well, watercolour. You need to work pretty quick. Into your colour. Clean your brush, add a bit of water, blend that in. I'm just going a bit darker under this ear, because obviously this is behind the other ear. So if you get a bit of a shadow here, it'll give you a bit of depth. I love this colour. So now I'm basically going into the palette colour itself. No water. This is when you get your real solid colour. And you can start, so say for here for instance, put some solid colour there. Into your water, wipe your brush off, into your water, tiny bit of water on your brush, not loads. Pull that out, pull that out. Again, soften it, pull it out, pull it out. This is why I do this a lot in my work. This is why I use the oranges and the yellows, because if you look on the colour wheel, if you haven't got a colour wheel, you can easily Google it and then just save the image. So on the colour wheel, your oranges and your yellows are the opposite colours to your blues and your turquoises and your greens. And I think sometimes to make a really dynamic piece, it's nice to use opposite colours. Like red and green, I absolutely love that combination. They always say red and green should never be seen because it's of the opposite on the colour wheel. But I just think when you're making art, anything goes. So anywhere where I think there's going to be shading, so a bun's here, so I'm going to bring a bit of shading here. Get a bit of shading under there. I could literally play all day with this. That's one of my problems sometimes. Just going in a little bit darker here. I just don't know when to start. In your water, wipe, tiny bit of water, drag that colour out. I mean, a lot of the time with watercolour, really, it's just moving the water about. So once you've added your first layer of colour, you can start adding another colour. I've added a little bit of green there. And this is where your detail's getting a bit finer now, because you're working on the end detail. You put a pop of colour in like that, clean your brush, have it a tiny bit wet, and just blend that in and move it. Moving the colour all the time. I'm going to go in with a little bit of darker blue here. Again, a little bit there. So I would let that dry and then I'd go maybe into it with a white highlighter. I've got the highlighter pens and I've also got acrylic white, which will work on watercolour. Yeah, I think that's probably done for now. I mean, really, I shouldn't be using this water now. It's a little bit dirty. I normally have two waters, one for dark paint and one for light paint. Tiny bit of highlight. I think that looks pretty good. So now I want some of this yellow to be coming in here. Such a vibrant colour combination, this. I love it. This would be such a different card as well for Easter. I don't want to do too much on this because I really like the line work as well showing through. I actually like the way that the line work is so lovely as well, the line work. I'm so happy with what the manufacturer's done for me. It's a little bit. So I'm going to go into the face like that. Rinse my brush out. Then start working the colour. Add some more water. So you're basically just moving that colour about. I'm being really quite gentle as well with it. I'm just going to get a bit of background in. So say if you wanted that yellow now to just merge into nothing. Got loads of water on my brush, no colour. I'm going into the colour and I'm dragging it along. So I don't need any more colour because it's already got colour here. And I'm dragging it along. And then when you get to the end, then it's just pure water. And just bring it out. Again here, get some colour in. Water, nothing on your brush, quite a bit of water. This is why I'm saying that in watercolour your white is water. Right, I'm going to empty the water off my brush now because I'm going to suck this up. So watch. I'm sucking that water up. again, water, then suck the water up. So I'm just going to add just around the edge a little bit of shadow. To finish it off. And again, in your water, bring this colour out. In the water, dry off a bit. I think that is finished. I'm going to frame it and then I'm going to show you it finished in a frame. Look at that. I've just sprayed that with the brush and my finger. But yeah, it's beautiful. So all you need to do now, if you want to, you can leave it as it is and frame it, or you can put a mount around it. Like so. Obviously you cut the ends off. And the last thing for you to do, and don't be shy, you sign your artwork, because it is yours. Be proud of what you do. So that's been my demo. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any tips for me, that'd be absolutely amazing. And please follow us on Facebook, Stampanory, and on YouTube. That'd be so helpful. Love to you all, and I'll see you again very soon.